They are fatherless, so that you can be their father.
Less on ourselves.
They are lonely, so that you can be their companion.
Our love, our strength, our money.
They are in want, so that you can be their benefactor.
Every good thing God has given
We
us.
should spend more on others and less on ourselves. They are physically challenged.
We should see giving as the reason for relationship, just as receiving is the reason for a relationship as well. When we give, we receive more of whatever we give. When we give, we are planting seeds that will be multiplied back to us. 'Cause every true friendship in Christ Jesus must be
Degrading, humiliating, hopeless, unimaginable, demoralizing, miserable, and totally isolated. This depicts the life of many physically challenged people across Nigeria. Heaving his lifeless limbs, this young man rolls his way into the Synagogue Church of All Nations. This is his only form of movement.
Hello, tell us your name.
Idris, I no get any work. I'm a beggar. If I beg, the money I don't get now I go use chop. I don't have anywhere where they stay, and I for my under bridge I dey stay. I there they live. Because I hear people they talk and say, man of God, they help people for here. Then I be beggar. That's why I come. Me too, may they help me.
Living under the bridge and completely unable to take care of himself, Idris explains that he is a beggar. He has painfully managed to reach the Synagogue Church of All Nations. After hearing about the charitable works at the church, he is hoping that there may be some way out of his pitiful situation.
We should see giving as the reason for a relationship, just as receiving is the reason for a relationship as well.
Carried awkwardly by two men, this man comes to the Synagogue Church of All Nations, totally helpless and dependent on the goodwill of those around him.
When we give, we receive more of whatever we give.
This woman drags herself along the road of the Synagogue Church of All Nations on all fours. She is without any other means of mobility, socially rejected and impoverished by her feeble state.
Yet another gentleman arrives, hauled into the auditorium by two helpers. Both his legs have been amputated. It is clear to see the physical strain and difficulty it takes just to move him a short distance.
Worse still, there are those who have resorted to the use of mere wheelbarrows to move themselves around. This young man is just one example among thousands.
Yanzu ana na zo ne in samu abin da Allah ya hore mu in ci abinci in dinga zama na gida in kama harkokina. Wanda a tare da ni shine ga kula da harkokina, zai dinga wanke mutuwa na, zai kai ni ba haya, zai kai ni wurin fitsari, zai je mu dan yawata an mu samu abinci mu ci, an ba mu samu ba sai mu kwanta kuma sai gobe an Allah ya kai mu. Allah na ya kaddare in zo nan kuma na ji mutane na ta faɗa za a yi alheri a yau don himan ka zo a nan. Taimako duk da Allah ya hore aka bani, na gode ma Allah.
When his begging gains him any money, This young man explains that he is able to buy a meal, but all too often he goes to sleep hungry and without any form of shelter. He has sought out the Synagogue Church of All Nations in the hope of getting the assistance he needs just to sustain himself.
Their only means of movement, lines of the physically challenged glide into the church auditorium on makeshift skateboards. Due to their want, other alternatives are few and far between.
They are followed by a woman who tragically crawls along the ground, accompanied by her 5 small children. One cannot begin to imagine how a mother must feel trapped in such a frustrating and desperate situation.
Led by the Emmanuel TV team, many blind enter the church in single file, holding onto the person in front of them for support, forming a human chain, ready to join a host of others waiting expectantly for something that will make a difference in their world. Their pleas are of desperation and want. Let's listen to them.
My name is Gan Babatunde. I need help for pastor. I have an accident. They cut my 2 legs. So I need money to sponsor myself, and I need wheelchair.
This man said that due to an accident, both his legs have been amputated. He is requesting a wheelchair and financial assistance.
I've been there in our soul daki. Bani da abinci ina da yara 5. Miji na ya mutu. Babu wanda na basu. Ina so keke. Ina so kudi.
This woman narrates her story. Her husband has died, leaving her with 5 children to take care of. She needs a wheelchair, accommodation, and money to feed and cater for her family.
We have here 3 trailers of rice, which is 12,750,000. 2, we have transportation, feeding, 10 million. 3, we are going to present you some wheelchair today. The total is 30,750,000.
TB Joshua announces the provision of 3 trailers of rice, transportation, feeding costs, special gifts and wheelchairs, totaling the sum of 30,750,000 naira, which is the equivalent of $261,000.
3 trailers of rice were especially brought in to meet the needs of the crowds of the physically challenged who came to the Synagogue Church of All Nations that day. Quantities of sacks we can see arriving are enormous, but very necessary if each and every physically challenged person was to receive their very own bag. The provision of food is something no one should be in want of. What a real privilege to be in a position to give.
There were hundreds and hundreds of bags of rice, a gift worth over 10 million naira.
Brand new wheelchairs are also arranged and pushed into the Synagogue Church of All Nations in preparation for those who are in dire need of them.